have a lot of feelings about how things went down.
Oh, hi, I'm Jo. Welcome to Sewing in the Studios. Let's studio vlog. I did think it was Thursday when I woke up this morning, so the fact that it is Wednesday is a relief because I have a lot to get through. One thing I'm going to have to entirely omit because someone wanted a custom order by Friday. That is not going to happen, and they don't need it till March. It's January 10th. I got plenty of time. I'm going to attempt to not murder myself in my business this year. I do have some sewing I desperately want to get to because I have a market on Saturday and I haven't made anything new for it. And I also just haven't sewn all that much in the past week or two. Actually, other than an alterations night I did last week where I did some like very basic sewing, I haven't sewn anything since before Christmas. That's maybe the longest I've gone without interacting with my machine. Also, I'm already lying because I did film a video yesterday doing a basic alteration. My thinking with my schedule going forward is sticking to the longer, chunkier videos every other week because it's a big undertaking to do these. But I love doing them, having the recaps of the studio vlogs or like a sewing diary, say I work through a sewing book, or there's just a more personal project slash cosplay that's not like a straightforward tutorial type of video. I want to give myself the breathing room for those. But the video I did yesterday, I think I started filming at like 3:30 and finished editing that same video at like 8:30 last night. So that's gonna go up Friday. It's just like a 3.5 minute long quick tutorial type thing explaining how I did a high-low hem into like a straight across the bottom hem on a sweater I got that I just absolutely despised the original bottom of it and wanted to make it wearable for me. Since I've done that exact alteration for people, I get having extra fabric across the back of a garment to like cover your butt some more, but this ain't working for me and clearly not working for some other people. I figured if it's causing in-person demand, probably people that watch my videos for sewing things might find it useful. So that's going up on Friday, and then this studio vlog will be the following week. So I have today, tomorrow, Friday, and then I'll do the market Saturday. And even though that's only like half a week worth of studio vlogging, I have so much ahead of me. I think we'll have plenty to look through when this is all coming together. So before I start any sewing stuff, which I'm like chomping at the bit to do, I have some more admin type things. First order of business is making the fashion zines for my Mail Time Perk patrons. I hate when I don't get stuff out for them in the first week of the new month, and I think just between the holiday of New Year's, I was at a wedding and it was wonderful, and then just the weather has been absurd the past week, and I've been spending all of my time doing snow cleanup. So I haven't had as much like workshop studio time as I would like. So I apologize that these are going out a little bit later. They should definitely be to you by the time this video is up. I want to get those out and into the mailbox today. This morning even. Before noon would be great. It's about 10:40. I already have the zines printed out. I'm just trimming the edges. P.S. If anybody has a way to get this white border to not happen when I print stuff out, I am such a like non-tech savvy person that, especially when it comes to printers, I don't have a lot of patience for it and I don't understand a lot of things. Like I had to have someone explain to me how to like have it print at a higher quality image because I didn't even know that was an option with printers, but alas, here we are. Once those are constructed, which can be a little tedious because it's lining everything up nice and evenly. I don't want them to look terrible when they go out to everybody, and at least like the actual artwork is already done because that's most of the time that goes into making the zines, is coming up with the sketches, doing all of the croquis and everything, and then putting it all into the zine layout and coming up with a background, little notes to add on there. I'm so glad these have been received well because it's one of my new favorite things that I've been doing. Where this is volume 5 I'm putting out, and that's pretty wild. Thanks for supporting this little pet project of mine, everybody. Also, while we're here, thank you very much to everybody over on Patreon because I get to take 2 days off to do snow cleanup and not have to be in an absolute panic spiral about missing work because like there will be time to make up for it. And then I can do bits of work in my studio here while I'm in between rounds of snow cleanup when this kind of weather is happening. Or like working in the wintertime in New England has its hurdles. So getting to do all of that from home makes it so much easier. And honestly, just getting to work away at my computer when I need to with my shoulder heating pad on is absolutely primo. Once those are done, I do still have to do the thumbnail for the video that's going up Friday, but everything else is situated, like it's all edited, it's uploaded. I'll also have to do the subtitles, but it's a 3-minute long video, so that's not going to take any time. And then just like write the description. That'll be a little bit of my day, but not an overwhelming amount. Then the last thing I need to do before I can get my grubby mitts on my sewing piles is I've been working on building an office trivia game, which is happening tomorrow night at the brewery I work at. And honestly, at the current moment, because there aren't Brewfest or farmers markets happening, I'm essentially just doing freelance work for them. Like I did my alterations night last week. That's not something I'm on the clock for over there. I just kind of make events for myself, and I'm just glad to have the space to do that in. So trivia is one of those things where I'm still essentially working for myself. And then I'm also setting up a market, which I need to spend a little time working on today. We're doing a countdown to Valentine's market the first Sunday in February, and I'm very much looking forward to it. When I stack the vendors that are at these markets with people that I like hanging out with, even if it's slow, I just get to hang out with my friends all afternoon. So it's a win-win for me either way. I'm also going to print out Dundee awards on some cardstock so that at the end of the game, before I announce the winners and stuff, I want to make little awards for people throughout the night and hand them all out. I think it'll be a lot of fun to kind of personalize it like that. I'm also trying to think of like a good photo prop, I think is the direction I want to go. So I think I'm going to like print out some of Dwight's glasses on some cardstock and just put it on a stick so that people can take pictures and kind of encourage them to like post about the night and just get a little more traction going, because I think it's a little hit or miss if people end up coming to the trivia or not. So we've actually announced the calendar for like the whole year for every theme we're doing. I'm very excited about the whole thing. And it's going to give me a lot of time to come up with like the extra little props just to give a little extra unique twist on the night. I think will be fun. That's all the stuff I have to get done before I start sewing. I will check in when I'm ready to jump into those piles, and I'll show you what I have set aside to work on, because I have so much stuff prepped. It's like ready to get assembled. I just haven't had time to do it. I will see you shortly.
Hi, it's past midnight, and I finally finished the office trivia. I got my zines out. Whatever the other thing I had to do, I did. I don't remember. Oh, the video stuff, thumbnail and things. But I realized how awful I was feeling and just so tired. So I actually slept, took some naps with Bert for most of the afternoon. And I'm glad I listened to myself, because holy crap. So I'm gonna go to bed, let myself sleep in the morning if my body wants that. We'll do some sewing tomorrow. All of my admin stuff is done. Okay, off I go. See you in the morning. Okay, hi. Today has been complete chaos. It is the end of the day, Thursday. I did run my office trivia game. It went so well. It was the most well-attended one I've done, especially in January. Like, lots of people just don't drink in January, which makes them less inclined to come to an event at a brewery. This is very yellow. Oh, I have a different setting on here. It went so well. It's the most teams I've ever had. But yeah, today's been a lot. Not worth getting into. Just life things. Nothing bad. Just inconvenient. But I did start working on some mini bags for the event on Saturday. Hopefully bring you for my setup on Saturday. That is the goal for this video, is to actually show you what the setup is like, because it's going to be a little over an hour of time that I'll have, and those are my favorite parts of watching other people's studio vlogs when they're doing events. So I'm very curious how my new stack of bins is going to do. I think it's going to help a lot, but I haven't actually tested it out yet. So oh my god, I also got 2 Etsy orders. One of them was 8 items, so that got my sales total to $499. Thank you to my fairy god Cheryl. And then Sarah, thank you so stinking much for being the 500th. It's amazing. Also, it makes me super happy that order number 500, or sorry, sale number 500 was Mothman, because it's one of my favorite things, and yeah, that made me really happy. So thank you everybody that helped me get to that number. I don't have words. What a cool way to start the year. Okay, I'm gonna go sleep. I think I will rest well, considering, I mean, this whole week, I feel like I spent half of it just physically exhausting myself doing snow removal and just dealing with weather and house things and family things. So get the rest tonight while I can, since I have such a busy weekend ahead. All right, I will check in tomorrow, for real this time. We'll do updates throughout the day. Okay, hi. It is Friday. I am sleepy. I did a bunch of errands and chores this morning. Just kind of been resetting the house entirely since I know I'm not going to be useful tomorrow. I'm still just like reeling from how well office trivia went last night. I've had multiple people reach out just to be like, hey, that was so good. And that I ran a great game, and it's so fun to put together, and I'm just really glad people are enjoying it. I know I've thrown it out there before, but I do really want to figure out a way to like do the games with y'all, but I have Etsy orders to pack. All right, so I still have everything out from when I was taking photos the other day. So I'm going to take out the ones that are part of the Etsy order and then repack the rest. And then I already started packing my car so I can move all the stuff out there. I'm going to put all of Cheryl's bags plus some extra goodies in this little bin here. Good morning. It is Saturday. It is the day of the market I've been prepping for. And what's deeply unfortunate is I didn't get nearly as much time in my studio to start with this week just because of the absurd amount of snow that we had to deal with, plus just other things came up. And then over the course of yesterday, I was finishing up a bunch of these little bags. Also, I do hate the essentially batting I put in here. It's too thick for what I like in here. I do think it'd be good having an extra puffy for like AirPods or something, but these don't seem as versatile as the others. Like, I don't think credit cards are going to fit in here now, and I don't want to box out the corners to make them into like dog bag holders or whatever. So I don't know. I haven't stitched the inside of these though. Yes, I could bring stuff to hand stitch them at the market, but I'm not gonna. Although saying it out loud, I feel like I probably should, huh? So I only have a couple minutes before I have to hit the road. I didn't finish these. I have one that is like part turned out, and then one left that wasn't flipped out, and then I just gotta close this gap on the inside of these other ones. And I'm upset just because my period started. And if you are new here, or just I haven't ranted about it before, I get like debilitating cycles, so today's going to be very rough. The weather is awful. I'm feeling very pessimistic about the day today. So to be completely honest, I don't want to do it. I was considering finding a way to tap out, and like, I signed up to it. I committed to it. I need to go. I'm frustrated with my body because I had a panic attack over taxes mixed with the pain flares I've been having and just feeling really sick because of the cramps and everything. I'm having a lot of joint pain. I ended up having to just like lay on the floor for a couple hours yesterday. That's not how I wanted to spend my Friday. That's not how I want to spend any day, but I'm just feeling not super positive. And listen, I know my depression and my ADHD have a big spike or dip. The symptoms are worse during my menstrual cycle, so I don't know, my dudes. A couple people I know are gonna be at this market, so hopefully I'll just get to like spend time chatting with them. I'm gonna do my best to try to find a time lapse, so if I can find a good spot to put you while I set up, I absolutely will. And then maybe like throughout the market I can give some updates. I'm gonna try to actually like do stuff there more, especially when it's slow. I don't really have an excuse not to, right? As long as I can even make it through the day. I don't feel great. I feel like this whole week has been a wash. I know that's not the case, especially once I go back and like edit this together and I see stuff that I did. I feel like I did a lot of admin yesterday too, because I had an application to fill out, I had a contract to sign, I had payments to put through, and then just dealing with my taxes. I have no words. I did get those Etsy orders out. As the mail truck was driving away, I put them in the mailbox, which they don't need to get posted till today, so it's fine. They'll get picked up. But I was like, oh, they could have had it one day sooner. All right, I'm gonna get my boots on, grab a coat. I gotta walk Bert around. I'm gonna be gone a lot today, and my partner isn't home today, where normally he is to like help hang out with Bert. That means Bert's gonna be by himself for like 8 to 9 hours. I don't hope the market is slow. If the market is slow though, I'm going to tap out early and just come home because like, clearly I'm not super with it today. So I'm also not going to be like a great salesperson, I don't think. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. It's a January market. I haven't done much in the way of January markets, so we'll see what happens. Wish me luck. Let's see what today's going to turn into.
Before I start the time lapse and explaining how today went, I do really need to drive home the fact that it is because of everybody over on Patreon I get to do what I'm doing. Because of days like today, I can't depend solely on markets or Etsy sales or anything, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. You guys are why I'm able to make my life what it is. So thank you for the stability. I deeply appreciate it. And yeah, let's get into it. Car vlogging. You can see my pack out pile behind me. I basically forgot about the clothes part of my display where I have a garment rack. And I was like, right, I need clothes to put on the garment rack. So I did use one moving bag for those. Worked great. That was a really bad market. I sold one thing literally right at the very end, and it's because I was packing up. Not to dismiss it, I think it was a little bit of a pity sale because that's not true. I know the person genuinely, like, she has checked out some of my stuff before and she's going on a trip and she bought one of my zipper bags, which are $25. And the table fee for this event was $25. That's all I could have asked for how today went. I am feeling really gross. And it was so hot in that room. Like, I don't know if it's the cramps, pain flare happening in my shoulder and my hip. It's so bad. Like, standing and sitting has been uncomfortable. It's been fine in the car as long as I don't have to like turn my head too far. But this was a rough one. So I left early. It's not even 3 o'clock. It's 2:15 and the event goes till 3. So I hate being one to tap out early, but like feeling like I am, I'm going to rest for the night. I'm not even gonna unload the car. I will say the pack out rolling stacking situation worked beautifully. That was wonderful. I cannot wait to just like have that for future markets. It worked out great. So that, having the moving bag, it took 2 trips. I think this new system is going to work out really well. But yeah, I sold the last of my Fox bags. Here's the picture of like the set of them. I really liked this set. I sold the blue one maybe like 2 months after I made it. And then the other ones have been hanging around for forever. And then last week, Ashley, who's a really great artist, I'm obsessed with her Stardew Valley art. I'm going to post some pictures here. She bought the orange one, which I also, oh no, sorry, she bought the green one. This other vendor bought the orange one today. And it makes me happy to see them have new homes. So now I finally feel ready to sew new zipper pouches. I want to like upgrade it though, because I feel like I'm bored with the design I've been doing. So I'm gonna maybe make like a double version, medium-ish size bags that can be like a crossbody situation, something like that. Oh, I should have given her one of the wristlet straps. I have like 30 of them, and I don't bother putting them on my display because people don't often buy the wristlet bags to start with. I don't want to take up space with the straps when I have precious little room. Also, the tables were smaller than they said they were going to be, so they were only 5 feet. I'm able to adjust, but like frustrating when the standard is 6, sometimes 8, but standard of 6. Oh, I am tired. The weather was absolutely atrocious. That was really rough for the ride up. Like, you barely see the cars around you, and some people didn't have their headlights on, even though it was essentially nighttime because it was so dark and overcast and so rainy. But it wasn't snow, so okay, I'll take it. And then they also put me directly next to the one other person that was selling bags, but she had her stuff at a much, like, way, way, way undercutting her own prices. And this is not shade at her. We were talking about it. She does beautiful work. Like, I really loved a lot of her designs, but she should absolutely be getting so much more. And like, I can't compete with that, where she's selling stuff for a third, if not a quarter of the price that I have my stuff at. And I am not even charging enough for like the time I spend on these things. And they're the prices that they are. And hers were so below that. I don't know how she's covering cost of materials type of prices, and like had us right next to each other. Not that there were a ton of us in there. There were maybe like 15 vendors or something, but like, you can't have us directly next to each other having her prices what they were. Everyone's able to do whatever they want with their pricing and everything. I just can't compete with that. Like, she doesn't do markets full time. That's a big part of my business model, is doing markets. So I can't be losing money out like that. Where basically her husband does all the prep work. He does the cutting and the interfacing and the pressing and preps everything. So she just does the sewing. And so she was saying like, well, I don't actually spend that much time on all of this stuff. It's like, right, but somebody is. That labor isn't not happening just because you're not doing it. So I'm glad she has a teammate that is willing to help her, because if I could have someone else do those parts and I just do the sewing, that'd be amazing. But I know that's not an option. So that definitely was frustrating. There also was no like, I couldn't even find a post about the event. And I'm doing it. I shouldn't have a hard time finding information about an event I am doing. And I looked multiple places and like, I didn't see almost anything online. And if I did, it was from other vendors posting. There wasn't any signage for where the market was happening. It was like in this big community center where there were a lot of things happening. There was like a basketball court and things were happening there, and like people doing yoga in a different class area. It's like a public building. And we were in one of the little auditoriums. It was a beautiful space, but there was one black ink on white paper sign taped to the door that was held open into the auditorium we were in. And that was it for signage. All right, I think those are all my complaints. I think the rain is starting up again. So I'm gonna go inside and go hang out with Bert and just rest. Maybe take a nap, eat some leftover pizza, cold, right from the fridge. That's all I want. That's all I want. Not a tall ask. I will see you back here with possibly a mini video next Friday. If not, I will see you back with something else in 2 Fridays. Thank you so much for hanging out. That didn't turn the battery off. That turned the light off, not the camera. Cool. All right.